I'm Jade. You tell me, is there a better way to inspire your child to be a creative, independent, and loving human being than through music? I'm a young mom-to-be. I'm currently in the second trimester of my first pregnancy, but I'm also a professional musician and music teacher. And I have been for some years now. I mainly teach singing and piano, as well as music theory, songwriting, and producing music as well. But most of my students are children. And I've been noticing a couple of things regarding how children learn and how they don't. And side note, my youngest students are like around 3 to 4 years old, up to 80. And in all of my years of teaching, especially the youngest, I've came up with a certain style that works so well. My students are engaged, learning, happy, playing children. And so I decided to start this channel and share my knowledge with you, especially during these times that we are in right now, so you can inspire your child and open up the door for them into the wonderful world of music. If all of this sounds interesting to you, which I hope it does, it would be delightful to have you as a part of our lovely YouTube music family. But now, let's start. Today, I've got this 3-in-1 Montessori Music Activity for you. The foundation of it is this treble clef. You can DIY, do it yourself, or you can use the link in the description box below and download my template for free. And I'd also recommend you to laminate it, so it's sturdy and will last longer than a couple of minutes. And I'm also linking all of the materials that I'm using. I will quickly show you how you can make the sheet yourself, but you can also just skip the DIY and go straight ahead to the Montessori Music Activities at this timestamp. Now, to DIY this treble clef sheet, you can either go the digital route like I did. I've used my iPad and an app called Procreate, or go the good old crafty way of using pencil and paper. I'm using an A4 format. You will need to draw 5 vertical lines and 1 small ledger line, like this. And then put a treble clef on top. And like I said in the beginning, laminate. You will thank me later. And now onto the activities. Number 1. Introducing your child to the wonderful world of music using the treble clef. First off, just let your child explore the treble clef sheet. Let it hold it, let it touch it. Explain what you can see. Or, depending on the age of your child, let them explain. I can see lines. Let's count how many lines there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a small one, so technically 6. You can tell them we've got 5 long lines and a small ledger line. They don't have to memorize the terms for now, but just let them know what they are, and they will keep it somewhere right there. And there's this thing on the left. What is that? The treble clef. You can tell them it's like a key to the world of music. And then we will need something to represent the notes. Let your imagination run wild for this one. You can use small figurines or cars, toys, nuts, tiny rocks, gemstones, whatever you've got. You can tell your child to try to trace the lines as well. Or even trace the treble clef with their fingers or with the figure itself. And slowly but surely, they will get comfortable with a notation system and the treble clef and just have fun. I've also seen a variation with different cars, and the child pretends like to have a car race on the lines themselves. So fun. So just get creative, or rather, let your child get creative. They will come up with so many things to do, don't worry. Activity number 2. If your child has mastered this first activity, you can try out the second activity using colorful circles. I personally like using those wooden ones. I've got them off of Amazon, and the colors of those perfectly match the third activity that I'll come to in a second. Despite the blush colored one, I painted it light blue. We'll come to why in a second. And to make it a true Montessori activity, you will need to have some sort of guide, so it's self-correcting. I've created these 2 variations. One that has only the colored circles, and one that has the actual names of the notes written on it. Depending on the age of your child and how far he or she is when it comes to music theory, you can use either one. But for now, let's stick with those without the names on it. Again, you can use the printables that I've provided in the description box, or you can pause this video and DIY it yourself. If you want to follow up with the third activity, I'd recommend you to use the same colors. You don't have to use the wooden circles. You can also just DIY it with a sheet of paper, as long as the colors are matching the guide, so they can correct themselves. So just pause this video and get crafty. Once you've got those three things, the sheet, the guide, and the circles, your child can start matching the colors in the right order and correct placement, observing the guide and using the lines and spaces as reference. And the last activity. Our third Montessori music activity incorporates these fun and colorful bells. There are like actual Montessori bells that you can purchase, but I found that the ones that I've got off of Amazon are way cheaper and do the same thing, so I purchased those. And here comes why matching the colors of the previous activity was so important. Each of these bells represent a note. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and again C. And all of those bells come with a certain color. So that's why I've matched the colors of the bells to the colors of those circles. And now they can either use the guide from the second activity, or maybe they've already memorized it. Regardless, your child can now match the colors of the bells with the colors of the notes and therefore bring them in the right order. And I'm sure from here on, probably even before, your child will have started to just play the bells and have fun. Let them experience the different sounds they make. Maybe they can even tell you if something sounds lighter or darker, if one bell has more of a higher pitch than the other one. But don't be too particular with the fancy words. Just let your child have a fun sensory experience of sound and colors. And that's it for this 3-in-1 Montessori music activity. 3 simple yet super engaging ways to introduce your child to the world of music. Was this video helpful to you? If so, then liking this video is the perfect way to say thank you. And if you've got any questions, suggestions, or simply words of kindness, leave them in the comments down below and I'll be happy to chat with you. Click subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye!